We will begin in exactly 2 hours, 2 minutes, not 2 hours, 2 minutes. Good morning, everyone. This is Eric from Uzion coming to you this Friday morning with the amazing Gloria as my sidekick, and she's always here to give us a hand. And so I want you all to announce. I'm watching the comments scroll by here, and just pretty fascinating stuff. So go ahead, take a moment and introduce yourself, and we will be able to let you know that we're glad you're here this morning. We have a lot of viewers on this morning, so please quickly announce yourself. Herman's on, David is on, John saying hi. Who else do we have this morning? Galit Adams, hello. James from Malaysia, uh, Kelly from Orlando, and Peter from Yershiri, and Dana from New Hampshire, and Jim from Franklin, Tennessee, which I'll be there in just a little bit, and Mike and Danny and Al from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Denise from North Carolina, Sheila from Utah, Andre from Germany, Marshall from Wilmington, North Carolina, Bianca from London, let's see, Ken from Illinois, Ed from Indianapolis, Doug from Poland, Galid from Cape Town, where they're having great weather. Doug is from Vermont, Conrad from Northern Ohio, Ohio, and Torsten from Germany. What an amazing group of people we have from literally all over the world. And so we're so glad that you could join us today. We have a really interesting webinar for you today. We're going to be talking about Uzion and GiveSign together. We want to take a couple of weeks here and work on helping you to understand the integration between those two and kind of walk you through this process and why the two of them are valuable. And so we'll be sharing some really interesting stuff with you as we go through here today. So let's get started. Is there anything before we jump in here? We're gonna do this webinar this morning, but I want to give you an opportunity to ask questions if you have issues. We're going to restrict those questions to the topic at hand today because we have so many people on. Doug says he hasn't had a chance to put them to good use yet, but he's stoked for the opportunity. I'm going to tell you, once you see what we're doing today, you'll be even more stoked, Doug. I promise you, because I am. And I've really been excited about this. So I think you're going to love where we're going. I think you're going to love what we're doing here with Uzion and GiveSign together. So you're going to enjoy this. I promise. Today's going to be an exciting adventure as we look at these two tools and how they work together, and some of the things that we can do with that. So just a little bit of housekeeping today, so we'll all have a great experience. We want to keep all of the comments on the up and up, and we want to do our best to We want to do our best to try to give you opportunity to be able to ask questions, as Stephen has just done. When you see the down at the bottom where it says "Write your message" here, many of you writing your message. Um, uh, if you have a question, click on the red question mark and the drop down arrow there where the chat bubble's at, and we'll do our best to try to answer that question as we go. Yeah, David, we can't find the answer to that problem. That happens to randomly and rarely. So we're doing our best to try to address that. That's not on our platform. That's on the platform that we use for this. So we'll do our best to try to fix that. Steven's asking a question here. Do we plan on showing existing file names before you save to a modified one to Uzine? Not really sure exactly what that question is, Steven. So I will see if I can address that when we come back at the end. All right. Yeah, I think Gloria is going to help me with that. So go ahead, Gloria. If you find an answer to that, please do what you can to try to address Stephen's question there. Okay. Hill, yes, what is that one specific question that you have? And we'll see if we can address that as well. So as we do that, David, I will say this. One of the reasons why we post in the group that we're having the webinar in 15 minutes is so that people won't miss that. Make sure that you have Facebook open on Friday mornings, and you'll get all of the up-to-date information about what's going on there, and we won't have as many questions about that. And the red question mark is where the chat bubble arrow is at, right next to on the left-hand side of where you write your message. Okay? All right, let's get started here. I want to share with you what's new in Uzine. So I will be giving you some things that we've had some new stuff that's going on in Uzine. And what you'll see here is some brand new layouts. We've had a lot of requests for layout information for LinkedIn and some other things. So as you log into your Uzine dashboard and you call up a new design, what you'll find is that you'll have some new layout tools here, and we'll just run through these quickly. You have a YouTube channel icon. That's new. And so you'll have the ability to be able to do all the LinkedIn stuff is brand new. And so one of the things to be aware of when you do the LinkedIn is that our LinkedIn dimensions are different than LinkedIn's dimensions require. We've actually given you a larger dimension on the cover because we think it looks better. And so it will fit perfectly. There's no issue there. We've just made it so that it looks better in that dimension. All right. You'll also see a new profile picture design for our layout for Google Plus, as well as Pinterest profile picture, which is kind of nice to have, and then also the Google Plus post image. You'll have all of those layout tools that'll be available to you in your Uzine dashboard going forward. Okay. All right, let's see. Yes, Gloria's talking about integration with gift stickers soon. So cool. All right, let's talk about GiftZine for just a minute. We've got those of you who have been keeping up carefully with this will notice that we have a new version of GiftZine out over the last day or two, and it's 1.9.0, and so you want to make sure that that's the version that you're using. I'm sorry, 1.0.9. You want to make sure that that's the version that you're using currently, so that you have the best experience as possible. I have been amazed at what that upgrade did. I was really impressed. The new Cinemagraph Graph Brush Erase is there, and we'll be demoing that at a later time. Not trying to demo that today. That's there are a couple little tweaks that are going on with that right now, but that is an amazingly good tool and a huge improvement on that tool today with that new upgrade to the version 1.0.9. So I'll show you this little GiftZine here. Can you all see that okay? I want to make sure that you're able to see this. I'm going to show you where you check the Uzine version. If you're using Uzine, if you're using the cloud version and you log into Uzine.com, you're using the most current version. You will always have the most current version. If you're asking about gift sign with the new improvement, and I'll show you that in just a minute, with new improvement, it will be across the top, okay? The answer to that question, Al, is 3. So let me play this little GIF for you here, and you can see we can actually embed the GIFs inside of a tool like Keynote, where we're using this here. Okay, so you'll see some drastic improvements with the eraser and the Cinemagraph tool. We'll demo those clearly for you at a later date. Better screen recording. The screen recording is amazing. I've been playing with screen recording since I downloaded the new version, and I have to admit I'm kind of hooked on that. The ability to be able to give demos and use that is just really, really good. So the new screen recording is much better, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. Higher GIF quality. I've noticed that with the new GIFs that are rendered with the version 1.0.9, that the GIF quality is far better. Quite impressed with how that is. Actually, Dr. P, what you're doing is you're eliminating another step, and I think you'll be impressed with the quality of the screen recording when you do that. Tim, you always have to uninstall the current version. And so you uninstall the current version, and then you download and install the new version. Okay, but we have a higher quality GIF. We have a default setting now is HD and loop, where we had before we had we did not have HD and loop as the default settings, and so sometimes people got uncomfortable with they forgot that, and they didn't make that change in the tab. Okay, and then the coolest thing is what's coming up next, and that is the frame by frame animation. We'll be able to drop certain things inside of various frames as we go through the GIF. So if you wanted to say that there was that on the first one you say hello, and then later in the GIF you want to put a text that says you, then you would be able to do that. And so we're going to have a frame by frame animation that will be coming up. Okay. All right, I'm looking at the questions here. Can you explain how this works? Integrate GIF sign with your Usesign account. Yes, the integration we'll talk about in just a little bit, Mike. I'll make sure that we get that. Okay. Next thing is why GIFs matter. The reason for all the focus and attention on this is that take a look at these numbers. I think this is pretty impressive. All right. But when you look at the Dell numbers here, Dell reports that they have a 109% increase in revenues when they use a GIF-centric campaign. So it's all about making a difference here. And if you get that kind of an increase in revenue, or increase in attention, increase in client attraction to the offer that you're making, then that makes a huge difference. You have higher click-through rates in emails and ads, and people forget you can use a GIF in an email. And so the ability to be able to use a GIF inside of email gives it a little more attention, gives it a little more life. Email has been looking for something that would be a big shot in the arm, and here is a big shot in the arm for email to be able to make that interactive. Okay. And then you also have the power of using a GIF in an ad. And we'll show you some examples. Okay. Facebook Messenger sees more than 5 million GIFs pass through daily just on their mobile devices. And so lots and lots of attention being given to that. The great thing is that GIFs still have a very cool factor. They're new, they're attention getting, they're the kind of thing that helps you to let's see, I'm looking for something to happen here. Okay, gotcha. They're still considered to be new. They're still considered to be cool. And with the improvements that we're making at Gift Sign, you're going to see some pretty amazing things that will continue to have that cool factor. Okay. So that will help you in your marketing drastically when you're using the latest and greatest and newest and coolest thing that's on the market. All right. The next thing is the types of gifts that you can create for yourself and your clients. So let's go through this and we'll talk about some of the kinds of things that you can create for yourself and for your clients. So you can use them, number one, to show your personality or brand yourself. This is Bertrand, the creator of Gift Sign, the creator of Usign, and this is an image taken of him. And so watch what happens here with this little GIF. And great little image, and that's done with the Cinemagraph tool. And great way to show your personality. Nice little feature there. Let's take a look at the other way we can do this. Take a look at this one here. This is this guy does a lot of these, and so this is a great way to show your brand yourself with a pizza taking off like a rocket ship. So, all right. Way to show your personality or to brand yourself. Interestingly enough, I saw this GIF of Bertrand today, and I thought that's exactly what I plan to do this weekend, was find a place where I could do this type of personality branding, because I think it's going to be very, very important. Okay. The next thing that you can do is show off a product. All right. This is a product demo, and watch what happens with this. This is a clothing line, and what a great film roll of this clothing line. And then you see what's happened here. This is put in a loop, and we have the branding done over here on the side where you pull the image into the GIF, and it just simply does its thing. What a great way to be able to show off a product. How many of you think that's cool? Tell me in the chat box if you think that's cool, because I think that's a great way to show off a product. All right. The next thing is how to explain a process or a how-to. This is where the screen capture tool becomes extremely advantageous. What's happened here is just simply taken the integration tool, the integration capabilities with the images, and created a GIF out of this. So see what happens here. And you can see how that moves through. And so it's a great way to demonstrate this is how this works. Here it goes. This is how your integrations work. And you can simply scroll through those and make your screen capture becomes very advantageous there. Or take a video and put it in a continuous loop like this and show how to do something. And here's Peter's asking a question while we watch that. That is an awesome picture, Bertrand, by the way. Will there be a tutorial as to how to set up a GIF for Facebook ads? Will be good to have a step-by-step to Facebook ads set up with GIF. Yes, we can do that. And I plan to do that in the future. Today was going to be just a broad overview of what the capabilities are. And I will be glad to show how to do that in future tutorials, okay? So the next thing, this is really, really cool. All right, because oftentimes we need to send a thank you, or we need to send something special to a client or to a person who needs to get a little love, as we call it in the Southeast. And so here's a great way to do this. Think about using a GIF in your greeting to a client or to a friend or to somebody special. And here's a great way to do that. Okay, so send a little GIF with that. Okay, I'm asking here, where's the training for using GiveSign HD since in beta? I couldn't figure out how to do it. Okay, not sure. There's a lot of tutorials in the support area, Gene, and last week we went through some very simple steps in using GiveSign, and we'll continue to do that on these Friday webinars as we go down the road. Let's see. Dr. P, I'm going to demo the product in just a little bit, okay? Then over here, here's a great way to tell a story. This is the history of New York Times and their website. So you can just simply scroll through this and see, this is a great thing you could put on your website. If you wanted to tell a story, you want to tell that story in pictures, this is a great way to do this. Marissa, I'm going to answer that question in just a minute too, so hang on. All right. But a great way to tell a story. And you can just have a continuous rolling GIF on your website or in an ad or on a sales page or someplace that would be you would want to get the person's attention or to be able to display a product like is done here with Coca-Cola. This is a great little GIF right here. Okay. Wonderful tool for doing that. Or how about this? How about being able to animate data? This is various data points on a map. And so when you turn that map on, then this is what you get. It's a great way to animate data. And if you'll notice at the bottom, it takes you through a timeline, and then you have the data points as you go across the screen. Yes, you can do various things with those Hill on your website, and whether you have to have it embedded or if you can play it as just as a straight GIF, that depends upon your website and how it's hosted and what your website tools are. But you can play with the sizes from there. Okay. Gloria has given you the purchase link for GiveSign. Thank you, Gloria. I'll talk about the purchase offer in just a little bit. And so also you can show a company culture. All right. Here's a great example of company culture. I believe this is Wistia right here. Just a simple little GIF showing the company culture. Okay. And you're able to capture that. Doug, the answer is that was a video. That was originally a video that played to the end. And so that video was captured with the screen capture software and turned into a GIF. The other thing is here's a company that did the ice bucket challenge. And so they did it all together. And this makes a great way to be able to do a little corporate branding here where everybody gets a chance to participate in the ice bucket challenge. And imagine the goodwill that would be if it was on your homepage of your website or someplace like that, or be able to do this for a client, put it on the homepage of their website. Great way for you to be able to offer additional services to a client. And this can be a very helpful way to do that. Joe, yes, the webinars are always recorded. And then let's do this for just a moment. I'm going to pull up the current version of GIFZine, and I'm going to show you just some basic things with it, okay? So let me change my screen. Give me just a second to do my screen share here, and I will switch application windows. And go to GIFZine. Get this position so I can still see your comments. Gloria's given you some favorite video sources, and there are lots of places where you can get videos. We talked about video sources last week. We've talked about it before. We'll talk about it some in the group. There's a great, inside of the GIFZiners group, the Facebook group, there's a great document that's been running with people who have listed all kinds of places to get videos. So there's a great way to do that. There's not a new product being launched today. We're just simply making the offer to GIFZine. That's all. Okay. All right. Now this is my dashboard here. These are the GIFs that I have saved in this particular in this particular style. Now, while we're at this dashboard, I want you to see a couple of things that are important for us to have. We can preview the GIF right here. All right. The other thing that we can do from here, we can download it directly, or we can drop it in a mock-up. And I don't know that we think too much about the mock-ups, but here's a way that you can do some really cool stuff inside of your mock-ups. And then what happens is you now take this, you can preview this like here. You have the mock-up that's there as well. Okay. See there, then you can download it from here. So you can test out your various mock-ups, see something that works really well. And again, we have a club, a template club for these mock-ups and what you can do with that. And again, our design team does a great job of creating these things around the outside of this and doing various kinds of stuff. Okay. Right now, there's not a way to add your own mock-ups, Mike. There's just not. Okay, let's go back here. So you can preview from here. You can download from here. So you can download a GIF from there. And you can go to the mock-up page from here. Okay, so that's what you can do with your existing GIFs on your dashboard. You can do this right here. You can show that here. You can download that, or you can actually put that inside of a mock-up. Okay, and if we were to preview it from there, Bianca, if you're going to use them on Instagram, the way you do that is you load them into Giphy, and from Giphy you have the option of having that sent to you the version that you can use in Instagram. Okay. I may even pull Giphy up here in just a minute and show you where that's at. The answer, Dr. P, right now is no. You cannot integrate them into smart mockups. I know that there was talk about that at one point in time, but I know right now you cannot do that. Okay, so that's the mockups. That's where you find the mockups at. Now, we're not able to edit these videos, so let's go over here and we'll take a look at the options that we have. This Beamy is still being tweaked, okay? And yes, Samantha, I'll explain that in just a few minutes. But the screen record capture here is for being able to, what I'm going to do is I'll take this screen capture. That's a long skinny screen. Somebody was asking about square a while ago, so we'll do a more square version of this. And let me position this so it's over the top of this while that's playing. And then from here, I can play the video that you're seeing, and I'll run that for that long. Close this, give it a second, and there it is. And see, I have to get my screen capture in a little bit better spot, but you see what I'm talking about. I'm able to do that from right there. So that's this new improved screen capture that is available for you. Gloria, I will talk about that in just a second with the Giphy, okay? Yeah, the Beam Me Doug is still being worked on just a little bit, okay? Doug's saying that he missed something on the screen record. So let's do this. Let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do is open this up right here. And now I can record what we do here. So I can click on upload a video, and now I get that option. I'll pick this video, we'll open that up, and now I'll close that. And we have this right here, all right? And so you can see the action taken inside of that. All right. Let's go back out here. Let's grab no, let's just load a video. We'll get off the screen capture, and we'll just grab a video. This was the Penguins video that I had a while ago. We'll take this background right here. I'm trying to read your questions, okay? We'll make this a little more interactive this morning. I'm trying to read your questions as we go. And so right here, we have the option of being able to use this. And you'll preview this video. Give it just a second. And that's the way that looks in high density. Little trick that some people are just beginning to figure out. If I save this now, I can't edit this, but I can download this version right here. And when I download that version, then I can continue to play with this. So I can create multiple versions. All right. So that's the first thing. Now let's go through the text here. There's a couple of things that we can do. We can add text at the top. Put text at the top of that, or I could put text at the bottom. I can have text either at the top or the bottom. I can change the color of that text if I would choose to do that. And so I have the options there. I can change the size of the text. I can make it bigger or smaller. Okay. And I can reduce the opacity of that text so that it's pretty faint. All right. So those are my first options. Now, I can do that. I have the ability to also be able to upload an image. I'll talk about that in a moment. And I can also create this in a normal loop, or I can create it in a reverse loop, or I can ping pong this back and forth. Okay, let's put it in normal. We can do it either vintage, grainy, or high density. I usually prefer the high density version, but that's personal preference. It has nothing to do with anything. Yes, the ability to change fonts would be cool, but we can't do that as of right now. So let's mirror this just for a moment, and we'll look at it from a mirrored standpoint. And then I'll show you a couple of things that we can do from Usign. Right. So there is what that image looks like mirrored. Drastically changed the look, the impression that gives. Now let's take this one step further. I could download, have that. What I can do is I can remove the mirror, and I can preview this, and from the preview I can download the straight version. All right, and it will load up the straight version. That's just a straight fireplace looking version there. So I could download that. Then I could do a mirrored version of that. Then, if I chose to do so, I could actually add an overlay on it. And using a mask is kind of a cool opportunity here. So I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to overlay that mask over the top of it. Now, I'm going to have to bring that flame in a little closer so that it becomes a little more obvious. I did that because the flames start on the outside and come to the inside, and I've mirrored them. So now let's take a look at what this looks like. I'm going to show you what you can do with fonts as well. Okay, now that totally changes that image. So this time, instead of downloading it, I'm going to save it. But when I save it, it's now available down here, and I can put it in a mock-up. And I can download it from there with that particular mock-up style. Okay, does all of that make sense? Are you all with me? Lots of conversation going on here. Gloria's doing a great job of staying on top of the questions. Now, let's go back over here. Yes, you can make them private inside of Giphy. Okay, let's see what Doug's question is. I heard earlier that you need to uninstall before updating. Yes. Yeah, you always want to make sure that you unload the previous version, that you remove that from your desktop before you upload the new version. And then you want to check right up here at the top. This is a new innovation as well. GiveSign version 1.0.9. That will tell you when you have the current version. If you're using an old version, then you'll have a bell that loads up right here. If that bell remains red and is notifying you that there's a newer version, then what you want to do is delete the current version, go to your GiveSign dashboard, and from the GiveSign dashboard, download the new version. Okay? Now, one more thing, and then I'm going to have to quit. So I could just have too much fun doing this, because this is just, this honestly is a really cool tool. And yes, inside of the, so I keep getting the same version here. So from here, if you want to add a different text, you can go over to your Usign integrations and save a text and use it just like I did the filter a while ago. I don't have one for this. But if you wanted a particular text on top of that, you could actually take that text and drop it in the corner of this. That is a terrible example of this. I'm so sorry for that. I made the mask, Vanessa, that's what I was trying to explain, is I made the mask inside of Uzine. I made the mask inside of Uzine, and I downloaded it. I didn't save it because that was before we had the Uzine integrations. And so I made the mask inside of Uzine, downloaded it, and then I just simply saved it in a folder so I could upload it later. And that's what I did. So let's do this one more time. We'll just grab this, pull in there something that should. And if I had a text that I could upload here, let's assume something. Help me with this for just a second. Let's assume that this emoji would be my text. So I have to make sure I get my emoji clicked on here, and I do this, and I can now take that emoji and I can put it where I want it to go. Okay. And I can also do that with text. So there were some text questions going on a while ago. We can't change the angle of the text. We can't change, but you can create text with a transparent background in Uzine. Bring that text in with the transparent background on it, just like I did this emoticon, and use it there, okay? Or the emoji there. When you uninstall the existing version in order to update the latest build, what happens to your saved projects? You still have them. You still have them. I did that. I did this last night, and these were ones that I have built since we were way back to the very, very early version of GIFZine. And so it has saved each one of my images or each one of my GIFs as I've loaded and unloaded. You don't ever have to worry about losing your work like that. Okay. Yes, Danny, that's the best way to deal with the fonts right now. Instead of worrying about trying to change the text and does this work or does that work, just create an overlay and it will work wonderfully. You don't have to integrate Uzine with your GIFZine account in order to make that happen. You just simply have to have them someplace so that you can load them up. You have two options. You can load them as a file from your hard drive or off your desktop, or you can integrate them from your Uzine account. The way you uninstall that is if you're on a PC, you simply go and delete the existing GIFZine program. And if you're on a Mac, then you go to your applications file and you delete it from your applications file. And yes, you can move the text then as an image. You can move that text on a transparent background anywhere you want to put it. That's correct. That's correct. Okay. I need to move back to what we were doing before. The whole folders thing, which is the questions being asked by Stephen right now. Folders thing is a project in and of itself. Okay. And it is being worked on. All right. So that was just a little demo about the a brief demo, and we'll continue to do more. We'll continue to do more with this in the future. Look for your some of your Friday webinars to always include a little bit about GIFZine as we go, regardless of what's happening. And we will continue to keep you up to speed and keep you up to date on what's happening with Uzine and GIFZine both. Okay. Gift sign support. I've noticed several questions, and Gloria's done a great job of being able to give people the links to that. But gift sign support has tons of information in it. Talks about Giphy right here. Talks about the gift player on your website, and all of those kinds of questions, many of which are being asked right here, are answered in that support area. Gloria has posted the support link a number of times, but it is just on your Usign dashboard, or it is on your support tab inside of your GiftSign program, or at your GiftSign dashboard, any of those three places. Okay, are we back? Somebody's saying that we had issues with the chat box. Yeah, just delete the application, not the folder. You don't have to delete the folder, just the application. That's all you need to do, okay? Yeah, delete the exe file and you'll be good to go. Okay, the next thing is, I just want to remind you of the Gift Signers community. This is so important. It is so important that you understand the value that the community has, because we always have some really cool opportunities to be able to encourage each other and to support one another. This is a good example. This guy created his first cinematographic design, and it was really, really nice. I thought this was really, but you go in there and check it out. You'll get lots of ideas. You'll see lots of cool stuff, okay? The last thing I want to talk about this morning is that and Gloria has posted the link for us. You do have the option of being able to get gift sign right now at $47 lifetime. The 200 mock-ups that you saw me go through a minute ago, those are available for $67. And then if you want to use gift sign as a business, the gift sign offline marketing package is incredible at $197. Usign will continue to be the dominant training. I can assure you of that. Okay. GiftSign is the flagship product, and we were going to continue to go down that path. I promise you. Okay. Anything else this morning? I'm going to end a little bit early because we are starting another webinar in 15 minutes. So I'm looking at the questions here to see if there's anything I need to do. Doug, that question, you may want to, it depends on whether you're on a PC or a Mac, and I don't want to get lost in the weeds trying to fix your specific question, although I do think it's important that we address that. Make sure that you have deleted the GiftSign files. Okay, if you've deleted what's showing as GiftSign, and it's been so long since I've looked at a Mac, I couldn't tell you, or at a PC, I couldn't tell you how that's built in on the drive. Yes, that's correct, Dr. P. But more stuff came with that at the beginning. Okay, and you'll see those are on your dashboard. How do you integrate GiftSign with your Usign account? Let me quickly address that, because that question does need to be addressed. Let me give me just a second to get to the right spot here. You can be patient with me for just a second. I will be glad to pull this up here for you. Just don't want you to see my login. Okay, let's get this screen share changed. And that is your dashboard, your GiftSign dashboard. All right. And that's at giftsign.com/dashboard. dashboard. Now you'll have to have a login and all of that. That came when you bought the product. But the way you integrate that is you go over here to where it says Usign and you edit the settings. And then it gives you the place where you put your Usign public key and your token. Okay. Those two things are required in order for you to be able to integrate Usign into GiftZine. Now, the next step that you need to do is that you need to download the program again. All right. You do, because it is a desktop-based program. You'll have to download the program again, but that will work out fine for you. And then you will have the integration that you saw earlier when I showed you how that it is connected to your Usign account. Okay, and the way and where you find, very quickly, I'll show you where you find the under your profile. You will find your API keys right here. Okay, that's where you will get those API keys that are asked for right there. All right. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? Let me go back to where we're at because it's about time for us to wrap this up. Teresa says she's having trouble resizing images in Usign. We can talk about that on the next Usign webinar. I will make a note of that. Okay, I'm looking carefully here. Let's see. Yes, the answer to that question, Carol, is yes, they are different than the smart mockups. That's correct. Gloria has answered the resize images in Usign. Thank you very much. Let's see, what else do we have here? All right. That is everything for today's webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate this. Every Friday, we are here at exactly the same time, which, is 10 o'clock Eastern time. Now, I don't know whether that's daylight savings time or standard time because that gets all confused all the time. And people from around the world get confused about that. And I am so sorry about that. But we are here at exactly the same time every single Friday. So Doug, let's see. Gloria, can you help Doug with that issue? Okay, I am going to sign off, folks. Gloria will help you, Doug, and we'll see if we can get you taken care of, okay? The webinar will be right here, Sam. It'll be the same thing. You can sign in because I'm going to shut this one down and we're going to turn it back on, okay? The issue that Doug's having, Gloria, he's having an issue. He's still getting an error message when he deletes that. So if you could check on that with him, I would appreciate it. All right, we're going to sign off here so that we can get prepped to start the next one. Thank you.